Hiya, welcome to LSB Feasters Radio Channel, where we keep great radio from the past alive. And today, we're featuring a radio legend from the city of Philadelphia. I'm talking about Pierre Robert from 93.3 WMMR. Pierre Robert was one of the most enduring and beloved radio personalities in the city of Philadelphia, known for his legendary career at MMR, where he had been there for almost 45 years, going back to the early 80s. He started his broadcasting career in California at a small progressive rock station in San Francisco before heading east and finding his forever home at 93.3 WMMR in 1981. He was warm, authentic, and had a deep passion for rock music. And over the years in Philadelphia, Pierre Robert became more than just a rock DJ. He became a Philadelphia institution, known for his tie-dye t-shirts, his peace-loving spirit, his long black hair, and his little patchy white beard. Philadelphia loved this guy, and he got to hang with some of the biggest names in rock music. Rolling Stones, Bruce Springsteen, to Pearl Jam. On his show, he often shared stories. He also had listener interaction and cool features on his show, like the Workforce Rock Blocks, Coffee Break Music Marathon, and Pierre's Planner. And of course, the Vinyl Cut, where he played one of his many vinyl albums on the air. If there was a rock event going on in Philadelphia, chances are Pierre Robert was there. Sadly, he passed on October 29th, 2025, leaving lots of rock fans in Philadelphia shocked at his passing. What we're going to do here is feature the midday show on WMMR doing a tribute to Pierre Robert. This was Pierre's shift, and it's just cool to hear his colleagues just share so many great stories about him. It's the Pierre Robert tribute on 93.3 WMMR Philadelphia.
Yesterday afternoon and evening, and I was listening to Brent and I was listening to Marcus last night, and then this morning with Preston and Steve, and you think of all these stories that you have with Pierre personally, and then somebody will tell a story that they had, and then you think, oh man, yeah, okay, yeah, and then it reminds you of another story that you had with him.
That's been happening to me for almost 24 hours now.
Yeah. Right, yeah. And there was one that stuck out that I thought of this morning. When the National Constitution Center opened, Bono and Mutombo came, and Pierre wanted to interview Bono, and he couldn't get an appointment slot, right? An interview slot. They were giving him away to the other rock station at the time, the Inquirer, and Pierre said, you know what, Jen, grab that Marty. We're going to go down there. Me, Nick, Pierre, and Cindy Drew go down to the National Constitution Center, and Pierre works his way in and says, I know I don't have an appointment, but I really want to interview Bono. And we sat in that hallway 4 or 5 hours watching all the other radio stations, TV stations, newspapers at the time, magazines go in, get their spot with Bono, and we sat there till the very last moment. And the handlers finally said, okay, come on in, you've got 5 minutes. And we were there. I mean, Bono talked to Pierre for 25, 35 minutes, something like that.
Because once you got him going,
he wouldn't stop. His handlers kept coming over to Bono and saying, okay, wrap it up. And Bono would shoo him away and say, nah, we're going to keep this.
How many people would Bono shoo his people away for in the rock and roll radio universe? I don't think too many.
At the end of the day, and he had been through so many interviews, but once you sat in front of Pierre and started to have a conversation with him, there was no ending it.
No, and recent interviews prove it, like his recent sessions with
Papa Roach.
Roach, and his interview with Alice which is
Cooper,
legend. It's an epic interview. So these are the things we love about our brother Pierre, and the things we're going to miss the most, I guess. I'm going to play some rock and roll if that's okay with you guys.
Totally.
This is the band he liked from Down Under. It's Jed on MMR. The Struts on 93.3 WMMR. Everything that rocks, and today, everything that rocks for our friend, our brother, Pierre Robert. And Sarah and I have been hanging here in the studio, and an old friend of ours and Pierre's has stopped by. Sean. Hi.
Sean from Newman is here.
Sean McDonald.
Yes, exactly. And, the Struts one of many bands of a quote-unquote newer era, though they've been a band for, 15 years now? Yeah. But compared to some of the other things we play here on MMR, a newer band that Pierre just loved. He loved the energy. He never missed an opportunity to go see them live, and they come through Philadelphia frequently. They love them. One of my favorite memories of Pierre was last year. Was it last year? Maybe a couple of years ago. The Struts came in and surprised him the day after his birthday with a birthday cake. That's a whole... I won't tell the full story now because it's a long one, but
it was a really like one of those things that doesn't happen every day. Bands don't just stop by on your birthday to bring you a cake unexpected. It just doesn't happen.
Exactly. And Ryan helped me orchestrate it. And when I pitched the idea to the band's reps, it took no time at all for them to come back and say, we're in. We will do this silly thing. And Pierre, loved surprising and delighting everyone else. So to be able to have the chance to do that, and we orchestrated that surprise live on the air to get a full band of people. We originally thought it was only going to be Luke. And then all four of them come in. They're trying to walk a birthday cake with lit candles on it down the hall, but you can't walk too fast because the candles will go out. And Pierre, meanwhile, we're trying to stall him on the air. And for once, he actually wanted to get into the next song. So it was a whole thing, but then he was he cracked up when he saw them come in and sing in harmony, happy birthday. And that is a memory that I will cherish forever, being able to make Pierre smile. And I know the band loved him as well. And, we talk about Pierre Presents, those sessions where he's able to really go in depth with these bands and let them perform and let them speak about the songs. Sean from Newman, who's here with us, is a part of the team that engineers all that and records that. And you reminded me that the Struts were the very first Pierre Presents session. That was like 2014, right?
Yeah, no, it was over 10 years ago.
What was that like?
It was incredible. I mean, Ardmore Music Hall is so intimate anyway, and then you throw the Struts on that stage.
Yeah,
it was crazy, and it was the first of the Pierre Presents concerts that we ever did, and we were like, "Is this going to work?" And I mean, obviously, we did many more, and we've done many more, but that was an incredible experience, and of course, Pierre being Pierre, gave them all La Colombe.
Yes. Which is so funny that Nick from Cage the Elephant mentioned when he called into Preston and Steve today that he loved that. And I know Pierre loved giving Philly-themed gifts to the bands that came through town, whether or not they were from the Philadelphia area. It was such a joy. Absolutely love it. Thank you, Sean, for being here today.
Oh, you're
and
welcome.
This is what we talk about as with the MMR extended family. A lot of people have been stopping by. And I should reset, if for some reason you have not heard, our dear friend Pierre Robert passed away yesterday. It was sudden. We are told that it is of natural causes. We do not have much more information other than that right now. We're just trying to figure it out. We are as shocked and saddened as you are. So with that, Pierre always said that when tragic things happen and big things rock our community, MMR is always meant to be a community center, both in the literal and figurative sense. And that's what's happening in the literal sense right now here in the Pierre Robert studios. People showed up yesterday.
And the way it
people
works.
show up today.
Yeah, but the way it works.
Sean.
But the way it works is Ryan hears us talking. He comes in the studio behind me. Tell us what you found that we can play before we break, because we got to break soon.
Well, I mean, I have that birthday surprise ready and queued up.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Ready?
Yes, let's play it.
All right, which one's it on?
So this was 2 years ago?
Yeah, this was 2 years ago, and the surprise. I remember we were about to go into a block of Judas Priest, and I had to run in, and Pierre's like, "Okay, Ryan's coming in. What is going on?" And well, it went something like this.
Oh, that one, yeah.
This one.
Well, so far, this is a wonderful band. Mr. Ryan wishes to say something. What do you wish to say?
Before we get into this, we have a very special delivery coming through. If you turn your attention to the right, please.
What? Okay. When it's is it an elephant? Oh my birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Don't laugh.
Happy birthday, dear Pierre. Happy birthday to you. In harmony. Wow, thank you.
Bloom, baby, bloom.
Wow, thank you. Ryan, tell us who's just arrived here.
Ladies and gentlemen, we present to you the Struts.
Wow.
Yeah.
Day in the morning.
And then they all stayed for like an hour for an interview. In Pierre fashion, he just started asking questions with no prep at all, but it was still brilliant. And they played a show at the Fillmore that night that we were all at. An incredible memory.
I also love how giddy they were because we had a birthday cake planned and like candles and party hats. And I go to like check in on Sarah and them, and they're just like giddy kids, like putting all the candles in and just breaking everything open and putting the hats on. And God, just what a great celebration.
Yeah. Thanks for making that happen, guys.
Of course.
We're going to take a little break here. We're going to come back, keep calling. We're taking calls and sharing remembrances of our dear friend and brother, Pierre Robert.
Kick back, turn it up, and hang on.
When we're going, we don't need roads.
It's time for a music marathon. MMR rocks.
New MMR rock from Dorothy. That one's called Bones. Ray Koob in the middle of the day, remembering my brother Pierre. On 93.3 WMMR, Could You Be Loved? Bob Marley and the Wailers on 93.3 WMMR. You may have noticed we're not doing the workforce blocks today, and there's a reason for that. Today just felt like we should play music and take your calls and share your stories as well as our own. We still have a ton of people here.
Yeah.
It's like an Irish wake. It really is. I've been to those. And, except for there's no open bottles of whiskey.
Yet.
And yet is the key.
Keyword yet.
Okay. Marcus and Jen and Ray in the Pierre Robert studio today. And I see Pancake is still here.
Yeah. Jason's still here.
Yeah. They have been here all morning and don't seem to be in a hurry to go anywhere.
Yeah.
And he's coming around the corner.
Yeah.
Here he is. Mr. Cake.
What's up, Cake?
Good to have you back in the Pierre Robert studio. He's coming around. How you feeling, brother? You okay?
Yeah. It's
Is it weird to not be doing the workforce blocks in the 12 o'clock hour today? It is for me.
I am looking at the clock going, are we on?
What's time? Time doesn't exist.
We are on Pierre Standard Time.
Yes. It is very strange. And the people are going to have to start paying attention to the clocks, I guess.
Yeah.
It is. It's really cool to be back here. Just to see all the stuff, all the pictures, all the memories. It's, all the employees is what it really is. And seeing everybody that takes you back. It was 2008 when I, started this journey.
And for you and for Jason, you both had a similar journey with Pierre, keeping him on track in the time when he was juggling it all, and you got good at juggling. I know that. Yeah.
I had never been in charge of anything at all when I started with him. I had a 6-month-old child. That was it. We had just had a baby, and then it was like, okay, now you're going to be in charge of this this larger
man child.
And it was great. It was everything that you would expect it to be. It was chaos. Behind the scenes to get a song on that, he thought of 27 seconds before.
And you're getting it done. And I saw evidence of that with Ryan when he came in earlier. We had a technical malfunction from the changeover from Preston Steve. He came in, he did and we were back on. Everything was fine. It was, oh my, you guys, and that was daily efforts there.
Yes.
But I know one thing. Any one of you would take the opportunity to produce another day, week, month, whatever of his show.
To do another one of the tribute shows or one of the, a concert warm-up show for a huge band or the a tribute to
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, Thanksgiving.
Our one of my favorites, before I left was the Jerry Blavat tribute, and him and Jackie, and they took Gunnar over and went to his studio and recorded this show and brought it back to me and said, make this playable on the radio. And it was it was one of the most, I felt so honored to do it because he was so honored to be there, and it was just the way that it worked out. It timed out perfectly. Like we were helped in that by the radio gods. Like it was to the second on time. Wow. Everything, it was amazing. And you guys know radio, it does not work out like that. You think it's going to go one way, and oh my God, it can turn so quickly.
I know.
And
so that's also was your daily challenge.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I love your T-shirt. He's got
Thank you.
It's an eagle, like the Eagles.
Boys in blue.
But the shirt is Boys in Blue, but it says Pierre, and it's his face on the eagle. I got to find me one of those.
Yes, we made this in probably 2011, 2012. Beth Gardner, she was in the video crew with Preston and Steve, and the idea came up of doing this Pierre eagle face, and it took. Beth was amazing because every time that she'd send it back, nope, the beard's not right. Can you do it like this? Nope, the beard's not. And this is just it's one of the best shirts. Yeah, Pierre and the Eagle, Boys in Blue. But yeah, he was one of a kind, and this is really, really tough.
I think what we're going to do is I'm looking at the clock. Really? I know we're running ever so slightly behind.
Oh man, we're going to be on time.
We're still early.
Okay, technically we're still early. But I want to play one of his favorite groups coming up, and we're taking calls and from the listeners at 610-660-9333. Pancake is our guest. When you left a little while ago, I guess you didn't think this would be the reason you come back to visit us all.
No, I definitely didn't. And I just got to see Pierre. Unfortunately, my father, Bill Ashcraft, he passed away just over a month ago, and in Pierre fashion, he came. He was the last one there. He spent so much time with me, and I got to enjoy, such a great great time, great laughs, and I'm so grateful that I got to see him that short time ago.
I understand. Well, thanks for coming to spend some time with us today. We're going to keep the festivities rolling forward here as we remember our brother Pierre.
More of everything that rocks on 93.3 WMMR. Now.
Hi, MMR.
Hi, my name's Zach.
Hi, Zach.
I'm sending my condolences to you and everybody over there at the MMR family.
Thank you, and back at you. How you doing?
Not too great. I'm definitely on the younger side. I'm only 28, but I've been listening to, Pierre for literally my whole life. I love listening to, his planner every day, and I love listening to the history talks all the time. But the one thing that I was going to call about and share was, I remember years ago, they were giving away Shinedown tickets.
Uh-huh.
And I called in to try to win the Shinedown tickets, and my name is Zach Myers. Like that's my legal name. So I called in and I said, "Hey, my name's Zach Myers, and I'm trying to win Shinedown tickets." He thought I was actually the Zach Myers. I guess he assumed that we had similar speaking voices, so he asked me for my phone number, and I told him my phone number, and he was like, "No." And I was like, "No, that is my phone number." He was like, "No, I know Zach Myers' phone number. That's not his phone number." And I'm like, "No, I'm not the Zach Myers. I'm a Zach Myers. I'm just calling trying to win Shinedown tickets." And he started hysterically laughing on air, and he ended up putting me on hold, and he ended up giving me tickets anyway just because I had him laughing.
And that is Pierre for you, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Jack, as in Jack White on 93.3 WMMR, everything that rocks. And call for Shinedown and Second Chance in there. Great call from the audience today. A lot of people checking in at 610-660-9333. And I am joined by my brother in crime, Marcus in the Darkest. And you had a story you wanted to tell today about all this.
Yeah, definitely. Not only that, before I tell the story, this was also the time of day Pierre used to pull me on the air the week of the bike-a-thon to talk about bike-a-thon, usually the 12:50 break. Okay. And he was always so gracious and always so warm and so excited for us and for Team WMMR every year, and to have the support of the station behind us and to hear the excitement from Pierre when I'm talking about bike-a-thon. Just it was incredible, and you really felt his energy in all ways, and he was so gracious.
All things MMR. If
Absolutely.
He was attached to us in any way. He was about making it happen.
Yeah.
And Nick's here with us too, Nick McElwain, and you worked with Pierre for some years. How many years did you?
I worked with him for 3 years, or for him for 3 years. Yeah. So I started as an intern in 1999, and then I worked in the promotions department for about a year and a half and did events and that kind of stuff. And I started working with Pierre for Workforce Blocks Live, which you do every Friday, and go out to people's places of employ. And as Chuck said earlier today, ruin them often and drive forklifts into certain places. But he and I started to become friends then. And then his producer at the time is a guy named Michael Anthony Thompson, who's out in our green room right now.
He's here.
Yeah. Michael's here. He called into our show earlier this morning.
He sounded great on the air, by the way.
Michael's a great dude. And he decided he wanted to move on and try something different. And so I interviewed for the job, and that was in 2001, summer 2001. So I started working for Pierre as his producer and assistant in August of 2001.
Wow. It's all full circle, you know. And what's that, Mark?
Also, because you gave me the nickname Marcus in the Darkest. And it was, and the Pierre story tied with that is the King Tut exhibit was in Philadelphia years ago, and they wanted us to broadcast live to set the record for the most amount of people to go through the museum to see the exhibit. And that night was Marcus in the Darkest with the Carcass. And at about 3 a.m., Pierre Robert came out and hung out with me. And that was my first live broadcast ever at WMMR, I think. And he was so much fun to hang out with. It's dark as hell on the Parkway. Yeah. There's people walking around coming into the museum, and he was so much fun and so supportive and encouraging with all of this. And
you could count on him at any hour of the day. I mean, if it was 3:30 in the morning, if it was during our morning show, which he hated getting up early, but he would do it occasionally for stunts or for things that we wanted to do with him. And I mean, like he lived this radio station. He breathed this radio station. He was this radio station. And I mean, it's just this mark and this hole that can never be filled with his passing. You know, like all of us, we're just in shock and we can't believe it. And it's every stage of grief at a moment's notice. You go from sad to angry to happy to laughing about memories about the guy. And what I keep coming back to, and I'm sure you guys feel the same way, is just his love and respect for the music and for the artists. And it's what got him in radio in the first place. He really loved listening to music and being turned on by new music, and the Beatles and CSNY and the Stones and the Who, and the list goes on and on and on. And so Ray, you're just doing a great job at paying tribute to him through these songs.
I'm doing my best.
Well, it's not easy.
It's not. And when somebody's like your big brother in radio and you don't think this is going to come your way, this is going to happen, it makes it a little bit tougher. But I'm here because that's what he would want me to do and he'd want us all to do.
Yeah, you know, getting up and coming to work is a choice, and you did that. And we could all wallow in bed, and that's an option too. If you need to do that at some point, you know, self-care is important, but it's okay. It's okay to feel bad for yourself and just feel bad in general. And a lot of us are going through that. But I'm glad you made the choice to get up, and both you guys came up and come into work today, because this helps me get through, and I think we all need to help each other, and hopefully in some small roundabout way we're helping the listeners get through it as well.
Yes,
I think you're right on all that stuff, my brother. All right, we're going to pause for the cause because they still want us to run the commercials.
I have a request.
Why?
I have a music request. Are you going to be able to get to that in the next set?
What's that?
The Peter Gabriel and Kate Bush, Don't Give Up.
All right, right here. It's ready to go in.
Lovely. Well, I'm gonna skedaddle and go home.
Listen on the ride home.
I'm gonna go pass out for a couple of hours and be back here tomorrow morning. We are going to continue the tribute on Preston and Steve show tomorrow morning. So if you're an MMR listener, tune in tomorrow, because we're going to try and talk to people like John Bon Jovi, Graham Nash might be giving us a call, and a few others. So we'll continue the tribute tomorrow. And thank you guys, Marcus, Ray. I love you.
I just want to say what Pierre might say at this moment. Sleep is for pussies. Hi, MMR.
Hey, how you doing?
Well, we're managing today, but, we're not doing great. How are you?
Well, I'm not doing great either. This is Karen, and I have the honor of having Pierre's signature tattooed on my arm.
When did you have that done?
It was at Festival Pierre, which was in 2008. Collective Soul, Live, and Blues Traveler were playing.
That was a great show.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And I, after the show was over, we were leaving, my daughter and myself. And Pierre was there hanging out, talking to people like he always does. Which
right.
is great. And I asked him to sign my arm with a Sharpie.
Right.
And I told him, please be neat, because I'm going to have it tattooed. And he was like, yeah.
He probably didn't believe you,
Oh, he did not at all.
That's
And
so funny.
I promptly drove over the bridge over to Pennsauken, found the first parlor I could find. They did it, obviously. And then about a month later, I was back in Philly, I believe at the Big Joint, to see Green Day. And I saw him, and I walked up to him, and I said, look, Pierre, look what I did. And he went, oh, my God, I can't believe you did that. And I said, well, of course I did that. And,
that's commitment.
Yeah. I wear it as a badge of honor. Whenever I can hear somebody's accent from South Philly or Jersey, I always say to them,
yeah.
I say, do you know Pierre? And I show it to them, and they all think I'm crazy, but but they all think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, but,
And,
not many people have that, so.
No, I don't know of anybody else, actually.
Well, thanks for checking in from outside the area. God bless you, and God bless Pierre Robert. It's The Spell from Mammoth on MMR. And before that, call from a listener who has Pierre's signature on her arm, his autograph on her arm, tattooed forever. Nick was in here earlier with Marcus and I, and on his way out, he asked me to play this. He's in the car, and this is a great one. And Pierre loved this song. I do too. It's called Don't Give Up. Everything that rocks on MMR. Wow. Yeah, I'm feeling it too, Chris. Don't worry, man. Wow. You're not alone.
Well done. That's well done.
I think that's the millionth hug exchange today between Jason and Pancake. He brought us all together one more time, and I suspect there'll be other gatherings, but it is so wonderful to be able to share this with you guys. And we've gotten so many wonderful calls offering condolences to all of us, but what's also true is it's condolences to all of you. He wasn't just our friend. He was your friend. He was your radio partner on a tough day at work. He was the guy who was always there for you. And by the way, as you've been able to hear today, he's always been there for all of us too.
Yeah, he'd always say, "Take us with you wherever you're going," and he was taken all across the world. I mean, from all of us know the length at which people will go to listen to his program, and he always made the joke about the Thanksgiving show, and he would meet people. I listen every Thanksgiving, and I am on Monday through Friday. I'll be on tomorrow. And it's sad that won't be, but it was such that bringing people together, and everybody thought of Thanksgiving because it was such a big deal, and anyone who worked on that show knew how much that show meant to him, because not everybody's with their family, not everybody's with the people they want to be with, and the losses that you go through, and he was always there for everybody, and
true.
It was just I've said it too many times today, but it was an honor to work for him. Everyone who ever has gone through so much of their life with him. It's just it's really.
I'm
really
standing
cool.
here in a room with at least 4 guys who learned an S-ton from that experience of working with Pierre. Michael's still here too. ever since you guys had that little producer's corner, it's like he came in and he's been hanging with us. And he was in the series of Pierre producers. And I'm really glad you're hanging out with everybody, Michael.
It's funny. Jason and I were just talking about it outside. It's like we are a lucky few to got to spend time and experience Pierre, of what an awesome human being that he was, and the influence he had on each of us. And we have such a deep connection.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And he was so self-deprecating too. I think a lot of the times you'd hear him on the air joking about how they're all going to need a lot of therapy from working for me. Yeah. But he just was so generous for all of us, and it was not the greatest paying gig, I guess you could say.
That's the truth.
But he helped, and a lot of ways, and he just was so important on a number of levels for us, and any of us that when we were working for him, it was like we were special in that we helped him along. We helped him book flights, and we did all these other things too. But what he, or like the time when his flight got, his flight would get delayed, or he'd call you in the middle of the night, like I need a new flight because my flight got canceled, or those sorts of things. But he then meant so much more to us in so many different ways that I just can't even put into words just how important he was to me.
I think a lot of people are feeling that out there too, so it's good you guys are expressing it.
Yeah, and I love the stories too. Sorry to interrupt. It's just for the morning show, the talk about the tickets and him buying tickets. People might just assume, well, he's Pierre, he gets tickets for free. He spent so much money on tickets. One listener from the station, Lisa D'Annunzio, is a huge Bon Jovi fan. He got her to meet Bon Jovi and get all these things signed, and then he framed his Bon Jovi backstage pass and gave it to her. He did so much of this stuff for all the listeners. He cared so deeply about all the listeners, and I just thought that if people out there didn't know as much about who Pierre truly was, I think those stories from the listeners this morning, and the stories from us, but those stories that were told on the morning show this morning, it just wrapped it up in a bow so perfectly of what Pierre was to everybody.
I got a note here. I want to thank the fine folks from Primo Hoagies in Ardmore for basically bringing us food today, so that we could also they did, and Primo's great hoagies. And everybody's been making sure that we eat a little bit, because it's easy to forget when you're feeling grief to eat. So don't forget that.
Yeah,
thanks to Primo. Everybody's
just been kind of hanging out, and when we're not on the air, we're in the other room telling stories that
I hear it.
It's they are they're the legends that sort of went through these hallways, and it's it's so cool.
I know. We'll keep remembering and honoring our brother next on MMR. Aerosmith and Youngblood on MMR in a music marathon. And since the last time we talked, something happened here in the Pierre Robert studio. Ryan?
All I hear is, hey, Ryan, we need you for something. And I'm just coming in of everybody cleaning up a coffee spill, which if that isn't apropos for what today?
Well, I actually have.
Of course, it happened.
It has happened many times, but fortunately it was water. Chuck was worried it went in the board. I told him it was on the sideboard, but there was the mad scramble, as if the Duke had spilled a large.
Magoo, you've done it again.
I'm feeling you, Pierre. It was almost like it was a complete total accident, except for he probably was laughing about it.
I think Kevin, he's brought us off the air twice with coffee spills.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't think I was around for the first one, but I definitely was around for the one at 5th and Market.
Yeah, that was a direct shot.
So our backs are to the console, because Grover Silcox, our old colleague, is now working for Fox 29. He comes in with a camera crew. We're doing a live hit on Fox 29.
Right.
And Pierre extends his arms in a greeting and knocks 16 ounces of coffee into the board. Remember that scene in Goodfellas? Bing, bang, boom, So... Yeah. I'm in the shot on TV, but I now kind of take baby steps out of the shot to run across the hallway to tell Earl Bailey he's got to go hot because this studio across the hall is now dead.
Right.
Earl had just taken a bite of peanut butter sandwich. His greatest fear is to be caught with peanut butter in his mouth. And so, long story short, we ended up using the new studio for about 2 weeks while they cleaned up Pierre's epic
spill,
Mondo coffee spill, live on TV.
And it was almost reenacted with water here today. And it's just one of those things we were all, I mean, you didn't hear it, but we were all laughing our ass off for a moment, I tell you.
It was just too real and too karmic
It felt like he was here with us. Lincoln Park on 93.3 WMMR. Everything that rocks you on this day, our first day without Pierre. I mean, I know he wasn't here yesterday, but this is really the first day where he's not with us. And I've been hearing from so many people, and that included my oldest daughter, whose birthday was yesterday. Sorry about that, honey. She was listening, and she was thinking earlier when she texted me this, my daughter Jessica, was thinking about Eddie Van Hamster and how when I would be here in the studio and she would come in with me, that she wanted to play with Eddie. She liked hamsters. She wanted to, but there was no hamsters, so she really appreciated the elaborate stories that Uncle Pierre would come up to tell her where Eddie was and what Eddie was doing, and I know a lot of you remember this as well. And she says, I imagine this hamster on the roof of Rittenhouse Square in his gym getting a tan. He was such a gem. I'm going to tune in and listen from the office. Thanks for tuning in today, honey. It means a lot to your old man to have you out there. And it's a generational thing for all of us. You know, your kids or maybe your parents all love Pierre Robert and always will.
93.3, we're WMMR Philadelphia.
Oh really, 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 oh yeah. What do you think of that?
A radio station.
Of course. How stupid can I be?
Bon Jovi on 93.3 WMMR, another artist that bonded with Pierre very closely through the decades. I know John was busy this morning. They were trying to get a hold of him, but his bond to this radio station started right from the beginning. Brent Porsche is in at 3, but nobody's on time or in their normal time. Everybody's kind of sliding around here today.
I've been here since 7 o'clock this morning, man.
So, and something about the kind of person that John Bon Jovi is and the work that he does in the community, I think really appealed to Pierre because of his view of helping each other out whenever we need to. And John's been about that for a long time.
Yeah, 100%. He's, I think they're unwrapping something out there. Is you hear like static or something like that? Yeah. I remember I was at the free show that Bon Jovi did at the Big Joint a number of years ago after the Soul won the championship. And that's when John said from the stage when he saw Pierre out into the crowd and talked, from the heart about what a great guy Pierre is and what he means to this city and everything like that. And you're right, John and him were two peas in a pod, you know what I mean? Especially when it came to helping people and just the love of Philadelphia and the city.
I got a nice text from Scott and Justin Gaskill. A nice picture of them with Pierre. They got to win tickets to see Mammoth. Just a few.
The Pierre Presents.
Yeah, at the Fillmore.
Okay.
But also saw him at the MMRBQ. So that was a while ago, is when he played before. But they're checking in with pictures of Pierre on the texter. A lot of people texting in, and we're sorry if we're not being our normal interactive self on the texter today, but the phones are melting down, so we're trying to keep up with that. I'm expecting a phone call from somebody who is a Pierre Robert fan in a famous band.
Okay.
Who really appreciates...
That narrows it down.
It does, a little bit. I'll just say that they're from Long Island and leave it at that, and I'm hoping to hear from him in the next little bit, and we'll play his band when he checks in here on MMR. It's just one of those days we're still trying to figure out what the F we're doing, And
you played some Hailstorm a little bit ago.
I did, yeah.
And I actually I got a text from Joe, their guitarist, last night. He said, dude, big love, so sorry. Cheers from Poland. They're over in Poland right now. And he says, we're pouring one out for Pierre right now and a bunch of green hearts at the end of it. So, I mean, I got this text from him last night, but word traveled fast. Yeah. And again, across the world. And we heard a couple, like Brent Smith from Shinedown. He called in this morning and it spoke his piece. Obviously, Zach from Shinedown has been very active across social media, kind of, putting his memories and thoughts out there as well. Of course, we'll be talking to John, and I'm really looking forward to this special guest that you have coming up.
And you're going to hang around, and other friends and neighbors here in the building will be probably stopping by with you as well. It's been a day.
It has.
The number of voices that we've heard since the beginning of Preston Steve this morning, all praising our brother Pierre.
We love him so much, and we miss him dearly.
Checking in today, a longtime friend of this radio station and our brother Pierre Robert, Corey Glover from Living Color. How are you today, my friend?
Not very good. It's a very sad day.
Indeed it is. Your history and your band's history is intertwined with MMR here in Philly. I remember playing you on my rocker show at the beginning, and then Pierre really gravitated to you guys for all the different sounds you guys were making from what was the thing then.
Pierre was the first person to play our first single on Vivid, which was Middleman. And of course, he was really, really on board when we started to play Cult of Personality. We are all devastated. And just on behalf of myself and the rest of the band, we want to give all our condolences to the MMR family and everyone listening out there.
Corey, I'm going to play a little something that Pierre played for you guys first, and I love Middleman too. So I'm going to dig into some Living Color here on MMR. Thank you for checking in today.
Thank you, Ray. I appreciate that.
Oh, so good. And I didn't realize that Pierre was the first jock in America. We just knew we liked Living Color around here, and I didn't realize that Pierre was the first one to play that song on the radio.
Yeah, a few years ago, the guys in Living Color actually tweeted out a picture and a bit of history from Living Color, giving a shout out to MMR and Pierre Robert for playing that song from him.
Yeah. We used to have that little show. That's why I mentioned it to Corey. Like we got to kind of get it started a little bit, and then once things got rolling with Middleman, and then Cult of Personality, obviously.
Yeah, so cool. And actually, did you know Corey Glover is going to be in town this weekend?
No, I didn't. He's going to know everything.
He's going to be at the Met on Saturday night, part of the Mule-a-Ween show with Government Mule. They're actually paying tribute to Aerosmith on Saturday night at the Met, and Corey Glover's going to be there.
Oh, well, he's got the great voice for that.
Yeah, and they paid really nice tribute to Pierre yesterday up on their social media, and the picture that they showed, if you saw it up there, was a picture of Corey with Pierre backstage at the MMRBQ, was backstage over in Camden, and I was part of that interview.
Original picture?
I was part of the original picture. They cropped me out of it, but I was part of that interview, and that was one of the things over the years, for better or for worse, that I kind of weaseled my way into certain interviews at certain times, because it was not only did I want to be able to talk with these legendary musicians and stuff like that, but I just wanted to share time with Pierre. You know what I mean? Yeah. I just wanted to be part of something. Let him kind of run with it, and I'll just interject here and there. But just to say that I was there with Pierre as we conducted those interviews and stuff was so cool.
I know, and he enjoyed that because he knew it meant that it was more than just him, that the whole MMR vibe was surrounding the artists. And there's another example of it there with Living Color. You're a few minutes early. I didn't know if you heard. We're running on Pierre Standard Time today. And so you have to go out and go around the block and come back.
I got you. No, that's every day coming in here, man. Who knows what time I start after 3 o'clock.
Well, I'm going to roll some POD. Jerry Cantrell at 93.3 WMMR, wrapping up Music Marathon and what would normally be the Pierre Robert portion of our day. POD in there and Living Color with Middleman. It was great to hear from Corey Glover checking it. Thanks to Marcus for reaching out to Corey and getting the correct digits. Struts, who absolutely love our brother Pierre, and Bush back there too. BP is here, and I think for the next few days at least, getting to the end of every air shift here is going to feel like a little bit like an achievement. Or or because as what was the song from Uriah Heep? It ain't easy.
Right. That's for sure.
And this has been a really tough time for us. It's family, and it's family to you. And we're mindful of that. That's why we did it the way we've done it the last day or so. Yesterday afternoon into tonight, or in the last night and this morning, and a couple hours from now. That vampire who haunts you towards the end of your shift every night will be here, and I'm sure he is going to have an extravaganza tonight.
Yeah. And
calls are still coming in, BP.
And keep them coming. 610-660-9333. Of course, we're going to take some more of your calls coming up after 3 o'clock. And it's funny because Pierre was famous for saying that there's a song for every occasion. And I feel like with these songs that we hear, I feel like every song has some sort of Pierre story kind of tied behind it. So I'm listening to Jerry Cantrell here. And it automatically makes me think of the Alice in Chains ID, where they're like, hello. And you kind of hear them chuckling in the background there. And it's like, oh, that's some breath control or whatever it was. It's like, so I think of that, again.
That kind of stuff.
Yeah. And by the way, I just got DM'd from Living Color saying that I wasn't cropped from the photo. I was just in a different photo. So thank you to Living Color for hitting me up.
Just in case you didn't think they were listening.
Love those guys.
Thank you guys for listening. And thank you for always being part of this radio station and for loving our brother Pierre.
And thanks for holding it down today, Koob. Seriously, man.
I got to tell you, I was sitting in the studio this morning, and Chuck asked me if I would anchor things for a while, at least today. And it's good therapy for me. He's been my brother in this business for a long time. And I don't know how I get through it, man, to be honest with you, because the tears have been, right below the surface ever since we all heard. Just a little over 24 hours. I mean, it seems a lot longer than that to me, so.
Honestly, it's been, with our radio brothers and sisters that have been in the studios today, both on air and off the air. I've been here, like I said, since 7 o'clock this morning, and we've been telling stories. We were over in the green room and just,
out in the other room.
Fun stories, crazy stories, all that kind of stuff. And you get some laughs in there. Of course, the tears continue to flow, and they're going to, and that's natural and that's okay. And also for those of you that are grieving out there, it's okay to talk to somebody, go to seek some help, or, to go just kind of get your feelings off your chest. I know I've been doing that a lot the past couple of days as well. And it's helpful, you know what I mean, to share the stories, but, let people know how you're feeling, and that's okay. It's okay to cry. It's okay to laugh. It's okay to celebrate, and which we're going to continue to do, celebrate the life and the legacy of the legendary Pierre Robert, our radio brother that will forever live on in these hallwaves and on these airwaves, no doubt.
Thank you all for letting me be a small part of this today. It means the world to this old DJ. Love you, man. You have a great day.
Thank you.
Don't forget to spread the peace and love out there in the streets.
That's right, in the rock and roll.
And I'll see you when I see you here at 93.3 WMMR.